of the Box podcast. I got my co-host here, Bradley Powers, and our special guest tonight, Jim McFarlin.
Yo, thank you for having us here, Jim. It's Out of the Box podcast. This is Jim Andre's show with guest Jim Mike Mcfarlin, and we've all experienced paranormal phenomena, and we hope you enjoy the show. I'll be sharing it while Jim, you actually bounce the show off by investigating Jim Mike Mcfarlin's claim.
Okay, Jim, where were you on the night of?
Yeah, Jim likes to get interrogated.
So as we were talking about before we went live here, Jim called me earlier today. I did a session for his wife, Christy. If you want to take it from there, Jim, you can explain what happened.
Yeah, I will. Hang on, I'm going to get her in here.
All right.
Well, she got blood pressure problems, and time to time her blood pressure will shoot through the roof. Her blood pressure went up today through the roof. She had a migraine, a headache, started having chest pains. Well, I called Jim. Jim done a healing session with her. And by the time he was done with the session, her headache was gone. But, yeah. Here, I'm going to let her talk, let her tell you what it was.
All right. Hi, Christy.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello. Yeah, I don't know if it was a migraine. I have no idea what kind of headache it was. But it was so bad that I had it for 5 hours. Back of my head, back of my neck, everything. And it went down my arm, down to my chest. And I was like, please call him and tell him to give me a session. I said, I can't take it no more. And so he did. And at the beginning, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it because that noise was just driving my head. I thought it was going to blow off.
Yeah, and that's the hard part too, because a key to be able to do that easily is to be able to relax and
right.
You're in a tough position there.
And finally I calmed down enough. He turned it down enough that I could hear it, but I could still hear it, but it wasn't like super loud.
Right.
So I could calm down and stuff. And finally it eased up, and then I went and took a hot shower after it was over with. I mean, it was just like it came and went for a while, but then after I'd done the session with you, then it helped. I mean, it took it away.
Well, that's good, and it's my pleasure to help you.
Yes, and thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And well, you and Jim have experienced that with me before in the past with toothaches and whatnot. And
right.
I mean, I figured I'd mention that on the podcast tonight. I don't usually put it out there.
He's helped me many times with that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a real deal. You know what I mean? It's just something that I do. I don't charge anything for that, and I figured I'd have a little testimonial here this evening to verify that. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Christy.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, see you later. I'm giving him back to you.
All right, take care.
Give him back.
Here he is. So how about you, Jim? You experienced anything paranormal lately, or?
Not the last few weeks. I haven't experienced anything.
Yeah, what came to mind just now was that video I narrated for you. Remember when you were out that evening? With that growling sound?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a month or so ago.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't know what that growling was, but whatever it was creepy as hell. Because like I told you when you talked to me about it, I said if I had heard that growling, my ass would have went in the house. I wouldn't have been standing out there listening to that.
Yeah, that was crazy because when I first seen it, I'm saying, I mean, how is he so calm out there with that growling noise all around him? You know, it didn't
Well,
make sense to me. Yeah, you know.
what cracked me up, I sent you that video and you messaged me back and you said, what the hell you doing out there stroking a big cat or something?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Brian Parkway Paquia is with us. Hello, Brian.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Brian. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Brian.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Jim? You still got that problem you were telling me about the other day that you were spitting up there, or oh, you still do, huh?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, if it don't get any better soon, let me know and we'll see.
But mine wasn't like yours. When I spit up blood out of my lungs, it ain't a bright red. It's that old coffee ground looking crap.
Yeah, yeah.
I have spit up bright red blood before when I was coughing real hard.
Yeah, that happens now and then. But how you been feeling overall? All right.
I feel pretty good.
Well,
I just for a couple of weeks when I had that damn bad upper respiratory infection, I felt like shit.
Yeah. So what'd you do for that? You took some antibiotics, or?
I took a high powered round of amoxicillin, 800 milligrams for 10 days. Plus I've been using the colloidal silver more. Matter of fact, come Tuesday, I'm gonna order me one of them apparatuses you take breathing treatments with, because I'm gonna start doing the silver in my lungs.
Oh yeah, that'll be beneficial. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I go straight to the source.
Oh, Michael Gilpin is with us. Hi, Michael.
It cured the cancer the first round, so I figure if I do it internally right into my lungs, it'll kill that too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that colloidal silver there, that's a great
Oh yeah.
That's a great option.
Like I told you, I've had a couple friends that had COVID really bad. One of them, they wanted to admit her in the hospital, and she wouldn't go in the hospital. She went home, was telling me about it. So I made her a batch of the colloidal silver and took to her, and she had COVID. They wanted to admit her, put her on a ventilator. She told them to go to hell. I give her the colloidal silver. And the very next day, she felt well enough to go to work. She told me 2 days later, she said, I don't even feel like I've been sick. And she'd been sick for about a week when she went to the hospital.
Right. And that was like your brother Billy not too long ago.
Yeah. And when he had COVID.
Right. He had COVID. I whipped him up a batch of colloidal silver. And he went to work the next day, didn't he?
Yep.
So my question is, ignorance is bliss. Was life much better before you were awoken from your slumber?
Well,
what do you think? Was you better? Was you happier when you didn't know anything, when you wasn't awake?
Well, you know, you got to be careful of how much knowledge you want to consume at one time, because sometimes the more knowledge you consume, the more confused you become.
Yep.
Hi there, Brian Parkway and Vic Makaroff. Thank you for joining us.
Michael Gilpin says, I'm the psychic from the Arizona team.
What part of Arizona, Michael?
Vic Makaroff is with us. How you doing, Vic?
Yeah, hi there, Michael Gilpin. You're the psychic from the Arizona team. Yes. Hi there, Brian Parkway, Pokrewa. Always a pleasure to have you near us.
And we have PD Region
Paranormal.
Laura from PD Region Paranormal. Hi, Laura.
Oh, wow. PD Region Paranormal. Hi there, Laura G. Thank you for joining us.
Your answer, Jim. Michael Gilpin says Phoenix.
Oh, Cool. I grew up in Phoenix.
Well, you're near there now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Blythe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael does paranormal. He needs to go down there where your girlfriend's at, Jim, and see if he can meet her ass.
No, I want you to connect me with her.
Yeah. I told you I'll take you by there, but I'm not sticking around.
Girlfriend? What's a girlfriend? I'm celibate like Jim.
Well,
We're
you
unique.
You gotta ascend before you realize that you don't really need a girlfriend.
We're like eunuchs.
Oh, yes. By the way, Jim, I meant to correct you on that. Michael Gilpin says that. She says, laugh my ass off. I'm a girl.
Well, that's my middle name too, Michael.
Yeah. And that's the name of an angel, Michael. Isn't there an angel, Archangel Michael? Not sure.
Archangel Michael, yep.
Yeah. When I used to do the paranormal stuff, Bradley, when I was back in Arkansas, I got my own Facebook page and everything. When we used to do that, after I was attacked a couple times, I stopped that shit. Because if I go out in the paranormal world now looking for that, I carry that crucifix with me and I always say a prayer to Archangel Michael to protect me.
You believe in angels then, Jim McFarlane?
Well, I believe in something. I ain't gonna claim they're angels. Whatever they are, I do believe in a higher power. I know we didn't just come out of the blue of the moon into existence. Something put us here.
Yep.
Archangels are real. I've encountered 4 angels on 4 separate occasions. Archangel Gabriel was one of them. Hello, and Doctor. What I was going to say is, if you believe in angels, Jim McFarlane, doesn't that actually validate that there's an element of truth in the Bible?
I didn't say the Bible wasn't. The Bible was all bullshit. I just said over half of it's bullshit. All them bullshit stories in there are total bullshit.
Michael Gilpin says, indeed, my mom wanted me to be unique. Boy, am I.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, Jim McFarlane. I'm glad you said that, because that is the truth of the matter. There's an element of truth in all religions, and there's an element of truth in the Bible, although we have to remember the Bible has been heavily manipulated as well.
Yeah.
So, like
the people in the world that's in control is the ones that's manipulated the Bible to their fancy.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I'm like Jim when it comes to that Bible. Now, one thing that trips me, causes me to stumble, is when you read about the 10 Commandments. One of the main commandments, thou shalt not kill. Now, what kind of God's going to make a commandment like that and turn around and kill millions of people in a great flood? Anybody believe that bullshit, they believe anything.
Yeah.
Oh, Daisy's with us. Hi, Daisy.
Oh, hi there, Daisy. Thank you for joining us. Yes, David Nash. This is a late show. Jim likes to operate late at night on his show. This is Jim's show. This is Out of the Box podcast. And Vic Makaroff says angels exist. They're different to aliens. That's right, Vic. Angels are actually celestial beings.
Well, you know, technically the aliens are celestial beings as well.
Yeah. And hey, Jim, Brad trying to say you stay up at late. Won't he just put the blame where it really belongs? It ain't our fault his ass lives in the UK.
He's up 3 o'clock in the morning here. It's past my bedtime. past my bedtime.
Jolene says all things must be weighed. Angels are spiritual beings.
Yeah, angels are celestial, they're spiritual as well. Yeah. Daisy says hi there, Vic. David Nash says, what is a celestial being? A creation of God, one of God's team, God's crew. They serve God. David Nash says, aren't we all spiritual beings? Yeah, agreed. But are we all celestial, David? You know, I wouldn't say we are.
Marianne Clark's with us. Hello from Ghost Town, Paranormal, New Jersey. Hello, Marianne.
Oh,
Hi,
man.
Marianne Clark.
So, Bradley, what's coming up on your next show there on Esoteric Hours?
Casey Burton is on Esoteric Hours on Sunday, and she is a shaman. She's very close to Opal Moon. She thinks she's on a higher level than Opal Moon was. And yeah, she has been on my show before. Yeah, she was a pleasure to have her as a guest. Casey Burton, a shaman, is on Esoteric Hours, broadcasting tomorrow, broadcasting on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern time.
David Nash says, after we die, I guess we'll be celestial or extraterrestrial. And Jolene says we are terrestrial. Daisy Ten Pony says we are. But there are many things I don't think are, hence our predicament.
Hi there, Joe Lane. Thank you for joining us. Pleasure to have you there. You have a lot of input on the forum normally. Yeah, terrestrial is what we are. That's a very good point.
Well, you know me, Jim. I always said, the next time I die, I ain't going to the light. I'm gonna avoid that and hang around in limbo so I can haunt all the motherfuckers that mess with me in this life.
Well, they say we have a choice, so maybe you won't have to. Bradley, let me ask you this: does the earth belong to man, or does man belong to the earth?
Man belongs to the earth.
That's right.
And I have a question. Jim Mcfarlin, if your life was a book, what would the title be?
Well, I'm going to be honest with myself here. Mine would be Stop the World, I Want to Get Off.
Mine would be called The Great Escape. I'd be breaking out of this prison planet.
Mine would be called The Quest for My Prophecy.
David Nash says, man is eternal, earth is not. John Mormon says humans are dual-natured.
My next question is coming to Earth the hardest thing you've ever had to do?
Hell, I don't know. I don't remember it.
Yeah, we have nothing to compare it with. What would your answer to that be, Bradley?
I'd say the school of life is probably the hardest thing we ever have to do. When we cross over to the next life, I believe we are released from the turmoil, the toil, the stress that binds us to this realm. We are free of all that. We are when we cross over to the next life. I think we're set free to a degree. We are actually, relinquished from the chains that bind us.
Well, one law of nature is nothing lasts forever. So existing in
Well,
cycles is nature's way of compensating for that.
my answer to your question, Brad, is most people don't remember coming to this world. The problem is it ain't being born into this world. It's living on this shithole.
Oh, it's not a shithole. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
If you were born in Africa, you might say that, but you can't say that, Jim McFarlane. Look at the interesting life that you've experienced.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
but I've had a lot of struggles in my life too.
yeah, I know you have, Jim. Yeah.
Well, all species are slaves to survival. That's
Yeah.
the way it is.
Marianne Clark says her book would be called My Journey Within. David Nash says man is eternal, earth is not. Joe Lane says whatever spirit occupies the house, to him you are a servant. Are we servants of God? I believe we are here to heal, not harm. We are here to love, not hate. We are here to create, not destroy.
Well, overall, though, nature has a way of creating, destroying, sustaining, and rejuvenating itself.
I guess, Brad, you heard this morning we lost old Jerry Lee Lewis. He passed away today.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Jerry
he passed away.
Oh, really? Of
Yeah,
all the
87
rock and roll.
years old, yeah.
How old?
87.
He was 87.
Wow, really? Wow, that's a good innings.
He's the same age Elvis is.
I've shared the show 25 times. Do either of you drink or have turmeric in your everyday diet? Turmeric.
Marianne Clark says, my book would be called My Journey Within.
Yeah.
John Mormon says, creation and destruction intertwined.
Add turmeric to your diet if you can. Turmeric has 8 benefits of drinking turmeric tea every day.
Jolene
Oh,
says,
yeah.
Jerry Lee Lewis, cousin of Jimmy Swaggart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Brad. Turmeric's really good for you.
Do you have that, Jim McFarlane?
Nah,
Turmeric?
I have used it, but I don't use it on a regular basis.
It can enhance your life and help you to live longer.
Well, another good holistic source is garlic.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that because I forgot to take my garlic today.
Yeah. My dad's 98, still kicking, takes his own showers, cuts his own toenails. He's been eating raw garlic for years. My mom did as well. She passed at 98, God rest her soul.
See, that's something else that's good for your blood pressure, Jim. But Christy can't eat garlic, but when she does, it messes her stomach up.
Oh, yeah. I guess it doesn't agree with her digestive system.
Yeah.
Yeah, of all the rock and roll stars, when I was a teenager, I listened to Jerry Lee Lewis mostly. A lot of Jerry Lee Lewis. He ruined his life when he married his cousin, who was aged 13, which was legal in his state. Am I right?
It was legal it was legal in the state he was living in at the time.
Right. First cousins can legally get married in some states.
That ruined his career in England.
Oh yeah, he called hell in England over that.
He wasn't welcomed at all. Yeah, he ended up starting off. He ended up beginning his career in nightclubs again, where he had to work from the ground down.
But that's just like Brad. That's just like Elvis. If he'd have got to tour like England and places like that, they'd have been against him too. Because hell, his wife, when he met her, she was only 14 years old there in Germany.
David Nash says they were second cousins, not first.
Technically, that's paedophilia in this country. We are not very open-minded.
You mean incest, not pedophilia.
Yeah, over here it's incest now. Anything. If you marry a cousin, it's first or second, it's considered incest. Now you can legally marry your third cousin in every state in the United States.
Well, if you're gonna believe the Bible, we all stem from Adam and Eve. We're all a product of incest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And the Roman legion, they encouraged paedophilia. The Roman soldier would bond with paired up with a 15-year-old boy who was a warrior. And that would be encouraged because they would fight to the death for each other. And that Roman legions were built and they were like the glue that binded each other, and they fought hard for each other. You know, I don't know if that happened with the Titans as well. David Nash is 16, I think, is the age of consent. Yes, at age 16, you need consent of the parents to get married. Although at age 16, you're not allowed to watch porn in this country.
Yeah, I don't know what the laws are now, but it ain't been too many years ago. You could go to places like Alabama and you could marry a 13-year-old girl legally, and she didn't need her parents' permission to do it.
I think in France, 15 is acceptable to get married at 15. And in Arab countries, it's younger. Yeah, amazing.
The ones that bother me the most, Brad, these sick son of a bitches that mess with babies, like 4 or 5-year-old kids. Them sick son of a bitches, they shouldn't even be. Once they're tried, they shouldn't be going to prison or none of that shit. Once they're tried and convicted, they're like I believe about the Catholic priests. When they ought to be tried, and when they're convicted, they ought to take them right out in front of their whole congregation, pull their robe up, whack their genitalia off for the sick bastards.
Yeah. David Nash says he thinks the age of consent is 15 in Canada. Vic Makaroff said it's 16 in Australia. The age of consent is 16 in this country, in England as well. So I have a question. Is the church a reptilian company?
I think the church is a makeup of many factions.
Yeah, a little bit of fun here. Jim Mcfarlin, what element are you? Fire, air, water, or earth? Do you know?
Am I what?
What element are you? Fire, air, water, or earth? What is your star sign?
Oh hell, I don't know.
Do you know what your star sign is? I'm
a Gemini.
You're a Gemini. That means your element is air. That means you are mentally stable, social, analytical, fluctuating. You need to share their thoughts to the world. You're a writer, teacher, philosopher, and intellectually stimulating. Does that describe you quite well?
Yeah.
I think you're
Daisy Ten Pony says everything here is a reptilian production.
Vic Mcfarlin says the Catholic Church is definitely reptilian. Yeah, this is a reptilian planet. Daisy Ten Pony says everything here is a reptilian production. And David Nash says dozens of branches of Christian and non-Christian churches are reptilian. Joe Lane says depends whatever spirit it bows to. The church, the true church, has the fire of God in it. Hi there, Beck Birdie. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, hi, Beck.
David Nash says we have mammalian brains.
Well, we can all agree to one thing. It's another day in paradise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is fun. If you had the key to Pandora's box, would you open it? Would you open the key to Pandora's box?
Well, if one is seeking knowledge, why wouldn't you?
And it's not another day in paradise, Andrew. You know better than that. It's another day on this shithole prison planet.
Yeah, but look at the people we get to meet, like Jim, Andre, myself, you, Jim McFarlane.
Well, it is what it is. It's a journey to be experienced, not a problem to be solved.
Yeah.
You just have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
So, my question is, Marion Clark, I have a question, but I'll do this. Marion Clark says, Jim and Bradley, if you guys don't see me after this live, after Monday, I want to say it was a pleasure meeting you guys. I'm going to the dentist and I'm afraid I'm not going to make it back home alive. I'm stressed and very depressed, and I do feel as though I'm not going to survive. You guys are awesome and very knowledgeable in your words. Thank you, Marion Clark. Believe me, Marion, I believe you will succeed at the dentist. Please don't.
And I second that. You will survive.
Yeah.
There's no question in my mind. Everything will go just the way it's supposed to. You will be okay.
Like Jim told you, Marion, don't stress it. Just go with the flow. It'll be all right.
John Moorman and Vic McCroft say, yeah, open Pandora's box. Definitely. I take my own teeth out.
Now, Marion Clark says it was a true journey. It's going to be a continuing journey. I don't know why you're making it sound like it's past tense.
So my next question for everyone is, we did land on the moon, didn't we?
I don't think so.
That's
You don't?
debatable. Yeah, that's debatable. Very debatable.
Debatable. We didn't land on the moon? Are you suggesting your government lied to you?
This is for you, Marianne. Beck Birdie says you'll be back, honey, and feel better in the mouth.
Hell, Brad, the government lies to everybody.
Well, Jolene says no, it was staged. And
I believe it. I agree.
I tend to agree with that.
Me too.
I remember seeing the faces of
Bonies also says I don't think we did.
I remember seeing the faces of the astronauts who returned after they landed on the moon, and every one of them was miserable as sin. None of them was full of joy after they landed on the moon, allegedly. Yeah, none of them were happy about it.
I just like the new Mars rover, Jim. Remember I showed you some video footage of that? I don't believe that son of a bitch is on Mars. I believe they're out here in the desert somewhere running around with a damn red lens on their camera acting stupid is what they're doing.
Yeah, that show we did with Shane Gilms.
Surprise me.
The show we did with Shane Gilms has doubled in viewers, 326 viewers so far.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
David Nash says there's been pictures of tracks of our rover on the moon.
Yeah, but that could be very easily manipulated. That doesn't mean it's a real picture.
Yep.
David Nash is asking, is it full of cheese? I like cheese.
So get this, I showed my Facebook page to my psychiatrist and he said he wants to talk with all of you. Jim McFarlin, Jim Andre, my psychiatrist wants to talk to you too.
Well, that's okay. I'll be willing to talk to him. If he wants, I'll invite him. If he wants, I'll invite him on one of the future podcasts and he can talk to me on a live.
He says you are both out of this box.
And what does he say about you, Bradley? Are you in the box?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. What the hell is Brad seeking advice from a shrink for anyway?
They get their information from books. They're normally atheists and they don't believe in life after death. You know? And they're locking up our prophets in institutions.
Marianne Clark says, in 1930, I don't think we had the technology or the scientific method to send people or ships outside of the world zone.
We must remember Hitler was responsible for the flying saucer that was first created before 1945 by Skoda. Skoda created a flying saucer. I think it was called the Bell.
Wasn't it Russia, though, that went up there first in orbit with the Sputnik?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Russia's very advanced, aren't they, really?
Oh, I believe Adolf Hitler, he was in contact with one of the alien species.
Right.
According to Beck Birdie, he said Hitler was the first to the moon.
Yeah, Hitler was in contact with the Greys, I believe.
Yeah. I believe that's where he got the technology that he was working on when the war ended, when he was working on the nuclear bomb, because when we perfected that nuclear bomb, it was German scientists that we captured in World War II that gave us the power and the knowledge to do it.
Daisy Tenpony says the psych professional community is heavily reptilian.
Yeah.
Jolene says she was forced to see a psychiatrist. He said she was narcissistic.
Oh, look, it's different. It's different on this forum.
Yeah, but Jim, if Brad brings his psychiatrist on here, we need to interrogate him to find out how crazy Brad is.
Well, no, I think what would happen would probably end up putting him where he's trying to put us.
Yeah.
I think Jim Andre struggles with a lot of what I say, but yeah, it is true. There is my words hold clarity. I am sincere and passionate about what I express. Brian Parkway says the bell was a time machine with red mercury. And what happened was Hitler added weapons to the time machine, to the bell, and of course it became unbalanced and it wouldn't fly very well. So he had to take the weapons off, which distressed him very much. Joe Lane says she was forced to see a psychiatrist, and he said she was a narcissist. How about that?
Yeah, I just addressed
Are you,
that.
Joe Lane, a narcissist?
I just addressed that a minute ago. Where were you, Bradley, when I did that? Where were you? Were you consulting with your? Were you consulting with your psychiatrist when I?
Yeah, I was.
When I addressed that about a minute ago.
Yeah. There's a delay in our broadcast.
Yeah, there's a delay, all right, but I don't think it's within the podcast.
Quit busting his chops, Andrew. You're gonna make him mad, and he gonna quit coming on here with us.
Nah, he knows I'm joking.
The two Jims. Yeah.
Marianne Clark says, ha 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 ha. Consolate that, Bradley. Jolene says, yes, I am that, meaning I know the mysteries. She knows the mysteries. You want to share the mysteries with us, Jolene?
Jolene's a mystery. She's the first spiritualist I've ever met that quotes from the scriptures.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're sailing through this show. Thank you for joining us, Jim McFarlane. Jim Andre was going to quit doing the show if you hadn't turned up.
Why is he going to quit doing the show?
We got to give the viewers something more than just Bradley and myself. You know, that gets old after a while.
Oh, we don't. We need to have faith in this thing. Beck Birdie says, so my question is, was Atlantis reptilian? My answer to that is no. On Atlantis, you had Dionysus, Zeus, and other Greek gods. Hermes were on Atlantis. So no, I wouldn't say it was reptilian.
Tell everybody what Atlantis was, Jim. Your mic's muted again.
That was a learning facility to jumpstart man's knowledge. That's what Atlantis was all about. That's when the building of the pyramids occurred. You know, they advanced man's intelligence. They taught him math, calculations, engineering, science, astronomy. And
Daisy Tame Pony says, yes, it was reptilian, but that wasn't the only race that was represented. Joe Lane says they were demigods, so I agree with you, Joe Lane. They were demigods. Not creator gods, but demigods.
Yeah, that's how the pyramids were built, with the help of the extraterrestrials. I mean, there's architects and engineers today that can't duplicate with the precision that they were built with all the advanced technology we have today.
We haven't got
pyramids.
And
pyramids were built on all four corners of the world around the same time. And there was no way of communicating with each other at vast distances back then.
Most like I told you, Jim. They claim it took them 20 years to build the pyramids in Egypt, and each one of them stones weighs a certain amount. They had no equipment to pick them up in them days. For them to build them stones that they built them pyramids out of, they claim are so heavy that with modern equipment to build those in 20 years, they'd have to place one stone every 5 minutes for 20 years to build those. They didn't do that with slave labor. Anybody that believes that, they need to get their head out of the rear end.
Yeah. Also, Jim McFarlane, we haven't got the technology to carry stones of that size today.
Well,
We
not
haven't
only
got-
that, that's right, and we don't have the engineering ability to duplicate the precision
Yeah.
that they were built with.
And not only that, Brad, the
Yeah.
stones that the pyramids are made out of come from hundreds of miles away. Well, if they did it with slave labor, the pyramids wouldn't be finished today. They'd still be dragging stones.
And the stones were cut with quartz diamond tips, laser engineering to cut the stones so accurately. When they're put together, you can't even get a credit card in between the gaps.
No, no.
Brian says they have to place one, I heard back, and then they had a vibration technology that was able to make the stones anti-gravity, and you just floated them into place.
Well, Jim,
Yeah.
you remember,
That's possible with a certain sound frequency, I believe.
and you know, Jim,
levitation. Sorry, Jim.
and
Levitation.
you know, Jim, the old boy that built coral castles down there, he did the same thing as they did in a short period of time. And when they asked him how he done it with no equipment, he looked at them and told them the same way the Egyptians did, figure it out.
Exactly. Yep. Coral
I
Castle.
believe Thoth was the grand architecture of the pyramids, the super gods on the moon, Thoth. Yeah. Yeah, levitation, Brian, I believe that's a possible theory that we can't deny.
Yeah, Jim, you remember old Pharaoh King sending you those videos of the strange shit he seen going on in Egypt when he visited over there?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this stone here he sent me is from the Pyramid of Giza.
Yeah.
Wow.
He mailed this
I've
to me.
actually been inside the pyramids of Giza. I walked the path of gods, up the gallery. I've seen the empty black polished sarcophagus in the king's chamber to give the illusion that it was actually a tomb. The pyramids of Giza is a tomb, but that's not actually a true perception. That's a delusion, even though the empty sarcophagus remains in the king's chamber. And I walked the path of gods, the path that God Thoth, King Anu, Lord Marduk would have walked, God Seth, Horus, all would have walked that path. I walked the path that they walked.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jim, some of that stuff that Pharaoh sent, that video he took of them different stones they was doing things with was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, like
The one that
seeing it, the one you can't see in the mirror. That was
that's what I think. Say that one in the mirror, that was the one that was crazy. You could see everything but the damn stone in the mirror.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. And how about when he put it next to the lights where it would draw the electricity?
Yep. I'll tell you what.
Go on. Sorry, Jim.
I'll tell you what you need to tell the people about. There's a picture you took that time of that man and woman,
Oh yeah.
and the man wasn't in it. That'd be some creepy stuff right there.
Yeah, this was over 40 years ago. I was at a buddy of mine's house. His name was Jack, and he took a picture of an elderly couple sitting on his couch, and he had one of them older instant Polaroid cameras where you snap the picture and it slid out, and you wave it around and it develops. And when it developed, it was really like mind blowing because we're looking at the picture, and the picture's there with the woman sitting on the couch, and the guy's not in the picture. And then by 3 o'clock the next morning, he had passed. And that blew my mind. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, how astonishing that the camera can actually pick up the living and the dead. Astonishing the camera can do that. I'd like to add to this. Beck Birdie says the empty black sarcophagus in the Pyramid of Giza is a time travel coffin. I believe that to be true. You could lay in there and perform a certain ritual and you will travel through time because Time Lords are real. Yeah.
Marianne
And
Clark says, good night, everyone. God bless you all. Same to you, Marianne. Good night.
Good
yeah,
night,
God bless you,
Marianne.
Marianne. Thank you for joining us. Good luck at the dentist. I have a question. Can spirits read your mind? Can spirits read your mind?
Yep.
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so too. Demons and angels can. So spirits can, yeah. They read your energy as well.
Paul Baldwin says, I heard there are areas in the Grand Canyon that are off limits due to ancient technology and giant skeletons.
Gary W. White says spirits are nothing more than humans. I don't fully agree with that. Spirits are more than humans. Some spirits were here on Earth before. Some spiritual entities have never visited Earth in their life, but would love to experience life through a human. However, they are unable to. And a spirit doesn't need to read a book. The spirit can actually feel the energy from the author who wrote the book.
Brian Parquet Paquer says, able to telepathically speak with a spirit. So that is possible. It's called mediumship.
Yeah.
Daisy Ten Pony says some can. I don't think they all can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Beck Birdie says, yes, if you do not put up protections, I'm pure of heart, so no entity can infiltrate my mind.
Yeah, telepathy and telethought are two ways that spirits can read our vibrations. Spirits connect with our sound frequency and vibration, which is the language of the cosmos, which Nikola Tesla would actually agree with that.
Christopher Gibbons joined us. Hi, Christopher.
Oh, hi, Christopher. We'll have to have Christopher on the show sometime. He has actually experienced encounters with an incubus. No, succubus, sorry.
Jolene
Joe
says
Lane
yes.
says yes. So go on, Jim.
Jolene says yes. Spirits will possess, steal, and use your energy. You need the light of Christ to surround and protect your soul from attack.
I don't believe all spirits steal your energy, or not all spirits will possess you either. Your loved ones, your relatives and friends from who once were here, they won't try and steal your energy.
Yeah, exactly, because they would be more or less your guardian angels, right?
Yeah. Well, we have sailed through this show. Thank you for the help of Jim Mcfarlin.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
On board. Yeah, we're getting close to the top of the hour now.
I wish to say thank you to everyone for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you all near us. Your contributions are valuable to us, and we appreciate you sharing yourself and your time and your presence with us.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, guys.
Good night, from Jim Andre, Jim Mcfarlin, and myself. Good night, everybody.